Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to take you guys along with me as I set up my week in Notion. So this is how I would ideally set up my week every single week in Notion. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm exactly like doing this every single week. There are weeks that I kind of miss this or something. I just don't do this extent of planning my week. But roughly this is what in an ideal world what I would like to do every single week. But yeah, so we're gonna be taking a look at how I set up my Notion pages for setting up my week and just what I would like to do. So I have a whole video on my entire Notion setup. If you want to check that out, I'll have that linked in the up top. But yeah, today we're just gonna be setting up the week and seeing which pages I utilize for that and how I go about that. So let's go ahead and do that. So first off, we're gonna go ahead and start our screen recording, and then we're gonna hop into exactly how this works. Okay, so let's go ahead and head into Notion. So this is my dashboard for Notion. This is what it looks like. So the first thing I like to do is go over my weekly review. So this is basically just having a review of your previous week and just kind of covering that before I go into planning the next week. You'll see why also, but yeah, I just have a template here. I actually already did this yesterday because yesterday was Monday, today is Tuesday. But yeah, this is how I usually set up my week. First thing is a weekly review. So you just click on new here, and then I just go ahead and open it up and click on this template. So then I just go ahead and write in the week's dates. So this would be the 6th to the 12th of February, sorry, of 2023. And then I just fill out this little template. I also have a rating here so that I can kind of rate my week. This is not too like important, but yeah, so I rate the week out of 5 based on like how I feel it went. I'm gonna say that I'm not great at like remembering every single detail of my week, so sometimes it's just hard to like give it a rating because some days are good, some days are bad. But yeah, so that is how I basically start, is I just use this template. And then you just go over what went well this week. So I just have 3 bullet points. Obviously I can go more in detail and have more or less. Then I could answer what could have gone better this week, and then what do I want to achieve this week. So this is the reason that I first like do this, is I first take a look at my previous week, what I want to achieve this week, and then I can go into the next week's planning. So here you'll see I have a link to my to-do list, so I can just fill it out here and then just go to my to-do list tracker and go into more detail about like how I want to break up these achievements, or yeah, just list them in a to-do list. So that is how I set up. The first thing I do is just go over the weekly review of my week. Here you can see this is what this week's little review looked like. Usually what could have gone better usually is longer than this, but I have to say last week was pretty good, and I'm glad that it was more positive than negative. Most of the time it's more negative than positive, so that's really good. And then I just have all these that I kind of want to achieve this week, and then like I said, I have a link to the to-do list that I can go to and then just fill that out. So once that is finished, I go over to my to-do list. So in the video that I show my setup of Notion, I explain more in detail how this works. I'm not gonna go over that. But yeah, as you can see, I have my to-do list for today and then my to-do lists for this week. So this is the entire week's to-do list. And then I can just add new ones. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in some tasks that I know I need to get done this week specifically. Then I can go to the backlinks here as well and go to the previous week that I set up and just view what I said, what I want to achieve, so that I can kind of incorporate that into my to-do list as well for the week. So here you can see I have now all my tasks written down for this week, and then every single day it will update with that week or that day's to-dos. So I have to say, like, Notion I love for longer term planning, so like setting up my week like this, but for daily planning and writing out to-do lists that are more detailed and like have little more smaller things and personal to-dos also in between, I prefer using like a digital planner, my iPad or something, writing something down rather than just having it in Notion. But Notion is great for me to just plan out my week and write it all down, and then like daily I can and go into more detail on like a digital planner or something. So that is what I prefer, how I like to do the planning. But yeah, that is how I set up the first like week's to-dos, just roughly off the top of my head, or things that I know are scheduled in my calendar or something. I can go ahead and set that up in here. And in between creating this to-do list, I also reference my yearly planning template that I have here. So here you will see I have all the goals that I have for 2023 that I can go ahead and take a look at in the first quarter, everything. What can I incorporate this week specifically? If there's nothing, I just don't add it. Otherwise, some weeks there will be things that I can pull over. And then I can go into even more depth in the quarterly goals. See here in the month of February, what is exactly what I want to do, the top priorities and all that, and see how can I incorporate that again into my more daily or weekly planning. So it's like, for instance, here I can see weekly planning. I can go to my to-do list again and see, oh, maybe I forgot like adding the graphic design course to my to-do list. So I can quickly just go ahead and add that in. So it's really nice to just have a view of things, because sometimes it just slips your mind some things you want to do. So that's what's really nice about like having these goals you've set at the beginning, that you don't forget those. You kind of just reference them and then add them into your week as you go on. So that is also something that I really like. So that is how I also incorporate more things into my to-do list. Okay, so then that is all for setting up my to-do list. Then I can go over to my weekly reset. This is really nice for when I have things that usually also, like, again, slip your mind, that you don't always think about, that you kind of need to do every week. So these are just a few things that I've set apart for myself every single week that I would like to do every week. So this is getting my email inbox to 0, desktop and downloads folder sort. So these tend to pile up a lot, not so much my desktop, but my downloads folder specifically, with a bunch of junk that I don't need on my laptop. So I usually go through that. File and organize receipts, review and delete iPhone photos, and then backup footage to hard drives, again to save space and things like that. So this is how I can set up like a weekly reset and just remember to do these things, usually on a Monday. These are really nice to do because Mondays are usually more chill for me, and then I can just go ahead and do all that. And then also routines and habits, this page here, I can go ahead and clear that out. I already did that yesterday. Like I said, I usually do all this on a Monday, and then I can go ahead and fill this out as the week goes on. So then, you know, I just go ahead and track some habits if I want to. I'm not great at keeping up with habit trackers. I never have been, but I've always, like, you know, tried some habits. So yeah, if that's successful for a week, it's really good, but usually it's not. Especially like weekends, I usually fall off completely. Then we have my content manager, which I actually should have talked about when I was making my to-do list, because usually I reference this on like based on what kind of videos I want to make. Then I also do that in my to-do list, write down what I kind of need to film. So I actually already did that yesterday, but here you can see I have all the video ideas here, or that I'm planning or writing a script. Here you can see how I set up my week in Notion. I can now move to filming here. So this is just an overview of all my videos that I'm making, currently working on, or just planning. And I can just see an overview of all that and move them to their specific category, and also just write down my to-do list if I need to film any of them, edit any of them, or just anything else. So that is also obviously something that I do when planning my week, is making sure I look at all the videos that I have to do that week that I need to do. So that is also something I take a look at. And then lastly, this is not like every single week, but books I would like to take a look at, not just only on like the days that I do a weekly review or reset, but it's just a nice thing to keep up with, because like right now I'm already done with this book, so I can go ahead and edit that as well every single week of a book that I finished last week or something like that. So I can just go ahead and fill in all this. Date read, I finished this last week Saturday. And then I can also just add in any other books that I'm currently reading. So I'm currently reading The Hobbit actually. And so far I'm only like a few pages in, and it's been really easy to read, which is surprising. I thought it would be like harder. So then I just fill up my books for what I'm currently reading, what I finished, and then I can just update my TBR and things like that. So that's also just something fun to do at the beginning of each week if I didn't do that throughout last week. just to, you know, finish everything off. And then that is basically how I set up my week. It's a pretty fun process, pretty chill. With a cup of coffee, it can go really well. So yeah, that is a really fun thing to do every single week, and I do recommend you guys do it as well. But yeah, that is how I set up my week every single week. I hope this helped you guys, and maybe you can find some inspiration. Please don't take this as anything of me being somewhat organized. Definitely not one of my main strong suits, but I try at least. So this is what I try to do every single week, I guess. I've been really enjoying Notion lately, if you haven't noticed. It's just such a fun tool to use every single like day / week, or just for anything really. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun playing around with it, so yeah. But anyway, that was my video. Hope you guys did enjoy it and maybe found it helpful somewhat. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, it helps me out a lot. And comment down below if you have any questions or recommendations of videos you'd like to see, and I will definitely do those for you guys. I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!